Hello, everybody. Thanks for being with us on a Saturday morning. And now we are beginning with the first session for day one of Agile Network India's June 2022 events. By Surat chapter, we have Vivek Javani, Digital Officer, IT Lead, and CISO at Larsen and Toubro. He'll be talking about digital transformation in high tech manufacturing. So, without any further ado, I would like to call upon Vivek on the mic and camera.
Yeah, good morning, Nupur. Thank you for this introduction. So, good morning, all, and I'm excited to be here interacting with you today morning on one of my favorite topics of digital transformation in high tech manufacturing. Let me just share my screen. So, when I say digital transformation in high tech manufacturing industry, what we will do is that we will see the way how we look at it, or how during the years I have learned to look at the purpose of digital transformation, how we have gone ahead. And while I am writing here, man, it is for high tech manufacturing industry. It is applicable for any product, or to some extent even service industry. Yeah. So what I'll be discussing in the next 40 minutes is something like this. We'll start with the why part of it. See how part many of us are engineers and we are great at figuring out, but it is important to know why we are doing it and what we need to do. So for that, we will see the exponential evolution of technology and digital ambition slides. We will see what are the prerequisites which are actually required before we embark on this journey of digital transformation, how transformation is occurring in manufacturing. I'll try to see what the best in this time I can explain out of this. Some of what are the barriers to transformation, and then obviously you can put some questions in the tab. It will be great. So let us start with the discussion one, that is exponential evolution of technology. So there are four things that we will discuss here. I will start with the story of a man who counted. Many of you might have heard this story. Then we'll see the three fundamental laws, which I believe are key to giving rise to this need for digital transformation. What are the implications and takeaway for us as a professionals? As an organization, what are the implications and some key takeaways? So what happened is that, let me start the story like this: that there was a king who used to, was a mighty king, and he used to fight a lot of battles and all, and he used to often win. So once what happens that he won the battle and he came home and he came to know that he has lost his son, and he went into, he recused himself for days and then weeks and then months and all, and he was not at all coming out. So one day, one of his subjects presented him with a chessboard. That, okay, see, boss, this is a chessboard, and probably you will like it, and he loved it. So he was so happy with the subject that he said that, okay, you please, ask what you want. And he said that, see, boss, I am very simple person. You just need to give me a food grain for every block in this chess block. But on the second block, the food grain needs to be double. That means that if in the first block I'm keeping one grain of rice, in second you need to keep two, then four, eight, and so on and so forth. So what I want to ask all these viewers is that, what do you think could be, without any doing any calculations, of course, what is your intuitive guess on how much the grains of rice, what is the weight of that? So I'm just trying to make this a little interactive at start. If you can just help me with some responses on this Menti, you can just open this menti.com. You can insert this code. It would help. Yeah. Can you do that for me, please? What is the intuitive thing? How much would be the weight? When you do that, probably you will see a screen like this, and you can just go there and select one of the options, like same as a fully loaded Boeing or soccer ball. This is just for fun. Any responses would help. Yeah, at least five responses. We can go ahead. Yeah. Nupur, you can check out if this is working or if there is some issue in this.
Yeah, it is working. Actually, people were looking for the code. So now we
Okay,
can
so
see the code.
yeah. Okay, so we have one response. Thank you. You say that it's lighter than a soccer ball. Okay, okay. Heavy than a fully loaded Boeing machine. Okay, yes. Fair enough. Okay. So no issues. I think we got some response. So see, actually, I cheated a little bit on the options front. The right answer is around 2 into 10 power 19 if you go by calculation, and this weight is approximately equal to the total biomass on Earth in the order of magnitude, obviously not the exact 20% here and there. So what I am trying to drive a point over here is that okay, you might have gotten that okay, yeah, this is probably heavy or this is not so heavy, whatever. But what is happening is that human mind is thinking on a linear scale. We generally think in a we are accustomed to what is a linear scale, right? So we have one, then we have two, three. So this is a linear, we are doing. Here what was happening was it was going that 1 2 4 8. It's basically a exponential or logarithmic scale. So this is what the difference in between linear scale and log scale. When we say 2 into n or a into n, it's basically a linear, and this is an exponential scale. Now how is this before we go, what was the end of the story? What happened to the subject? Okay, there are two versions. One version is that that he was proved to be too smart, and he was given a lot of gifts. And the second, probably he did not live much. Okay, so I don't know what was the ending, but at the point we are trying to discuss here is the difference between linear scale and logarithmic scale, and this is very important for the why part of the digital transformation, which we are going to shortly discuss. So what this brings us is to the three fundamental laws which are pertaining to processing power, communication speed, and the storage capacity. What is happening, friends, here is that our processing power is doubling every 18 months. Probably it is a little more now with very, very, advanced things already happening. But, and this was, it's not a law as such, but it is professed by Moore's law. You can Google it. Communication speed is doubling every 9 months, and storage capacity is doubling every 13 months. Now, these months can be plus or minus 2, 3 here and there. The point we are trying to discuss is that processing power, communication speed, and storage capacity are the three basic things which are growing exponentially and not linearly, right? So what is happening because of this? This is giving rise to performance improvement and cost economics. Performance improvement and cost economics, which are a competitive advantage for any company, and it is improving exponentially. Hence, what are the implications and takeaways is that if your business development is happening on a linear scale, and because of the exponential evolution of technology, your competition is growing at exponential scale, you can be out of business. So this is what has been happening for many companies. Let me give you an example: Remington versus IBM. Remington and IBM both used to make typewriters. Today we don't know, where is the market leader Remington today. We know IBM could transform. So this is the gap between disruption and transformation, and because of which companies like us or probably yours are moving in the direction of digital transformation. Why is it important as a country? That is something what I like to bring out. See, industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, where because of the mechanical power, electrical power, computer power, this is industry 4.0 is driven by data power. During the previous industrial revolution, India was, bound in the chains of slavery. We were not free when these things were happening. Industry 1.0, 2.0. But from 3.0, 4.0, we are right at the eye of this industry shakeup. So we have to be part of this. And this is why it is important, not only as an industry but also, as a country. Yeah. So I hope I was able to convince you that why digital transformation is looked after by big conglomerates, small companies, MSME companies, etc. today, and why it is not a good to have thing, but it is a mandate. So okay, so now once while we get convinced that okay, we are convinced that okay, we want to do, how do we form our digital ambition is something which I need to discuss. So I have found that this is a framework from Gartner which gives us some kind of clarity when we are embarking on a digital transformation journey. There are two basic goals of this transformation. One is business process optimization. What do you mean by business process optimization? You are trying to do something with less. You are trying to save your cost by improving probably productivity, customer experience, etc. From existing revenue, you are trying to save some buck. The second type of transformation is business transformation, right? You are launching new products and services in the market. You have a new business model like Ola, Uber, etc. So these are the two things. Now, while it is very cool to discuss about Ola and Uber and etc., when we are into an industry like high tech manufacturing, your resources will be limited. You will not have unlimited resources. So it is paramount that within your investment bandwidth and resources, you have a clear cut ambition that what is the percentage of my efforts I'm going to focus on my optimization part and on the digital transformation part. This will form the base of your digital strategy, which is going to result after all this. Even your technology roadmap would be dependent on this clarity of digital ambition. So this is the first thing which we actually decided, that how much focus I am going to go on either of this. The purpose could also be to, we discussed increase in volumes and sales, that is business transformation, reduce cost of the operation by efficiency improvement, that is what we call as optimization. But digitalization is also for risk reduction, adhering to core values also. Ultimately, this will transform into some kind of the previous two goals. So once this is decided, we are ready to, form a digital strategy for our organization. The second thing what we did is, where is the rupee coming from? Where is my revenue coming from? We all are technology people, and many times we get lost so much into technology that we many times lose the vision of what is the business we are in, how we are actually going to earn money. So value chain mapping is nothing but, you put on, this is a very standard Porter's framework, which, and this what you see on screen is a typical manufacturing supply chain, not supply chain, value chain, in which you have primary activities at the bottom and the secondary activities, stacked up. What you are trying to do is connect the primary activities, speed them up so that your throughput is increasing. On the other hand, you try to make the secondary activities more efficient and connected to the primary activities. So these are the goals. If you have some questions on this, maybe you can write it down on the the chat. This is a very important thing. Your initiation of a digital initiative happens through this framework. Our approach has been focused and result oriented initiatives. We take small initiatives mostly. Democratization of digital skills. We have trained people that I think I have a slide on that. Data literate leadership. You cannot drive a transformation without your leadership knowing what digitalization is. and culture change, which would form the base of any type of change initiative like a transformation. So this brings to our discussion to that what are the prerequisites for digital transformation. We started with why we are doing digital transformation, how to look at that what we actually want to do, how to strategize, how to see that where the revenues are coming from. Now the third step, having done this, is to find out that what are the prerequisites, what is the technical stack or technology stack which is required before actually you can go full fledged out, accomplishing your digital projects. So the first would be people aspect of digital transformation. Let me draw your attention first to, let me start my pointer here. Okay, so what this pyramid you see over here is a strategy with respect to digital literacy, what we had, articulated and which worked very well. We are trying to have 100% analytics aware employees. That is, every person who is here knows what is a dashboard. They can deal around with some kind of trend charts, etc. If we are telling that okay, you need this is a regression, they should understand what is a regression. If I'm talking about some kind of classification, they should understand. If I say that okay, I'm going to use robotic process automation, they should not feel that it is some kind of foreign word. This is what I mean by analytics aware employees, right? Second is citizen data scientist, what we call it. So these are people who will actually practice digital tools. uh, Manufacturing industry every time may not be able to get data scientists or have an army of data scientists. So for the tasks which are not delving into the mathematics part of analytics, we have we have internal team who are experts on Power BI, SQL, and Python, who actually conduct some kind of analytics part. So this is 10 to 15% of our population, and we have one or two data scientists who do the actual deep insight generation work from the existing data. So this pyramid of data literacy is something which came out after a lot of to and fro analysis and learnings. So it helped us. Some of the other areas of prerequisites what we are discussing: a favorable culture. Employees can learn, understand data, envisage digitalization as a solution to business problem. Before 5 years, for any business problems, we used to go for Six Sigma, Lean Six Sigma, right? Operational excellence initiatives, team forming, etc. Now we are trying to build a culture that okay, there is a problem. What digitalization can solve the problem? Overcoming resistance. People need not be insecure when it comes to digitalization. Hygiene factor, one of the most important things, at least if someone is from a leadership role in information technology, they need to ensure that our endpoint system, networking, data backbone, etc., have to be strong even before thinking about this digital transformation activity. A business partner base, you will not be able to do everything on your own, so you need to actually have a business partner base who can support you for these activities. A strong information security management system, this is the biggest risk in today's industry, you need to take care of it. And sustaining the momentum, it may possible that you start losing momentum after few successes and all. So these are the first level of people aspects which we need to ensure while embarking this journey. This is a very high level technology stack which any organization needs to have in place. Our goal of data driven organization, which is at the apex, would start with a very strong foundation on IT infrastructure, which I just talked about. The second layer would be with respect to applications. Without having a stable ERP or without having digitized processes, if you are still filling forms or using Excel sheets, it is very difficult to have a data driven organization. Once you have the stable applications, on top of that you will be enabled to generate a digital ecosystem of your IoT projects, material tracking, people tracking, digital twins, dashboards, etc. This is only possible when the previous two layers are done. Once these three layers are in place, you can think of the data driven decision making organization or a digital business model to talk about. You can think about monetizing your data basically. Obviously, you will need information security across all these four layer of the stack, whatever you are going to build. So this is not a traditional IT stack probably which you use, but this is something what will help you structure your thought in terms of how you need to build the organizational technology stack to achieve the goal of data-driven organization. Yeah. So now coming to okay, so this is about what we talked about is why we should transform, right? uh, how exponentially we are growing when it comes to technology and what risk it is creating. Then we talked about how we should structure our mind with respect to the digital ambition. We have limited resources, we have to be very careful where we are investing them. So on the third discussion, we also talked about that what are the prerequisites for digitalization, which needs to be ensured before we are going for the initiation. So now let us go to our discussion four. Then how did we transform when we come to manufacturing? So I would like to discuss six areas in particular where which are core of any manufacturing company, whether it is a discrete manufacturing or it is a pressure vessel manufacturing, defense fabrication, anything. And where were we? How did we land up into a situation where we could achieve the goal, whatever I just described about. Let me start with the design area to make it resonate with the people probably who are not in manufacturing. I would talk in a terms which is a commonly used terminology. So when we say design, basically you need a product and you are just going to design. So generally there is a 3D environment in which you are making, then you make 2D drawings and you issue to the production shop floor who will do the mass production or one of production project production, what we call either of that. So here from the core design aspects we started focusing on the product life cycle management, PLM, and to digital twin concept. Now, what is the digital twin concept? Digital twin is basically, a virtual replica of whatever product you are making, and you make this replica not at the production phase but at a ideation phase. When you are ideating, you do it in 3D. Simulation is not new for us. The only difference is that there is a digital thread which would connect this digital twin from the ideation phase. The manufacturing, when it is happening, the actual manufacturing data can be built into the simulated model. When you are going into the exploitation of the product, you have to use internet of things to get the actual data and finally dispose it. So from the core design aspects we started using tools which actually helped us getting this digital thread. Okay. Planning, we used to do absolute waterfall methodology, right? So when I did my PMP, we have appeared our exams on waterfall methodology also. Agile did not come to us as a enlightenment, which probably you all are there today. We are attending at Agile Network India. It came as a compulsion. So when we talk about agile in software, probably we are so accustomed. I'm talking about agility in manufacturing. The thought process, the principle, the agile manifesto. When we read the first time, it was a eureka that okay, this is something which is required, right? So the message here is that the mindset, agile mindset, came as a compulsion for manufacturing also, right? Not just the software development part. In core manufacturing area, from the manufacturing processes like weldment, fitment, 2D based approach, we transition to robotics, Internet of Things, predictive methods, AR, VR, 3D based manufacturing. One technology which was the most transformative was from a 2D based approach to a 3D based approach. We could successfully do that by strong infrastructure support, strong communication methodology, and some of the cutting edge tools which were only enabled recently. On the quality front, also we have undergone from the measurement based quality approach to an advanced metrology based quality approach. Now, advanced metrology is an industry 3.0 artifact. It's not probably very new. What is new, what we can call it as transformation, is the collaboration of physical and cyber world. What we term as IT OT integrations also. Our operations technology with respect to how we are building that into our process based quality is now so collaborated with all the quality systems. So the software as well as hardware are highly integrated. On the procurement front also, when I say procurement, you can read it as a manufacturing supply chain also, from the traditional vendor development, and the buyer and just purchase order philosophy, we could go to supply chain control tower technology, which actually makes a very collaborative environment in between the buyers, the suppliers, and even our customers. We deployed robotic process automation to do a lot of drudgery and repetitive tasks, and the buyers has to just take decisions with respect to procurement and negotiations. That's it. When we talk about stores, right, we used to do receipt, inventory, outbound, all these conventional ERP activities. Now we have transformed to QR code, barcode, and started using LoRaWAN, etc. technology to trace our materials right from the business partner end to the in-process manufacturing and to our customer end. So I hope this is making sense, and you realize that how groundbreaking transformation in each of the functions in manufacturing, which will lead to the ultimate, goal of what in manufacturing we say that on time, every time delivery. Yeah. So this is how we transform. So while we discussed on the actual business function side, let me now discuss on the technology side, that what are the technologies we could use, and what are the type of benefits which we could get by deploying these technologies. So I have written down the six which are probably one of the highest value creators for us. And just a time check, I have 10 more minutes, right? Okay. So I will curate accordingly. What each this technology value created will see. The first is data analytics. So what is the goal of data analytics? Let us see that. The goal of data analytics is to ensure that the decisions what we are taking are taken faster and better, what we call it as a informed decision making. So, like any other company, we had our enterprise systems like ERP, PLM, web application, etc. And all these were fragmented. It had a lot of legacy data, but it was not connected. What we did is that we went with the data warehouse or data lake concept, in which we aggregated all this data. We mirrored all this data from the original databases in real time. From these databases, we started generating the descriptive and diagnostic analytics dashboards and all. And we also started, doing some kind of, predictions, etc., which can be done from the legacy data. This helped us. Today we have more than 150 dashboards, or more than 100 projects in area of data analysis. What it basically does is it gives us informed and real-time decisions, and also targeted actionable insights to our people that okay, this is what you need to do. So this is how data analytics in very very short and crisp I am trying to tell you. Internet of Things is making machines speak. We had machines, we had our enterprise software, but there was no connections. The data in the machines was always remaining inside, or many times there were no sensors also. So what we did is that we started taking the data from the machine. Wherever there were sensors, good. Wherever there were not, we installed the sensors. We took this IoT data, and there are basically three outcomes which we could achieve out of this data. One is improving the productivity. One machine, how much hours it was working per day, now how much it is working. That is the productivity. Second is quality. You are dealing improving the process part. Say I'm doing welding, so I want less repairs in that. Okay. And third is how much less downtime you are able to achieve. You don't want downtime of your machine. So we could achieve this the three goals by deployment of large scale Internet of Things. Robotic process automation is also one of the very interesting technologies, friends. What we did is that there were a lot of mundane tasks, drudgery, what we call it. Employees were getting demotivated by doing this clerical task. So we deployed robotic process automation to do this task from the front end. We used Python. One important technology input, Selenium is generally used for web application testing and all. We started using that for our automation purpose, which was probably not the exact purpose. We have achieved more than 25, 30,000 staff hours of saving just by deploying this robotic process automation. AI ML. So when I say AI ML, it is actually a continuation of data analytics and IoT, where we are using the data generated from our IT OT infrastructure to do activities like predictive maintenance, or forecasting of output, like when will my product be delivered, job be delivered, etc. Augmented and virtual reality. During the COVID times, we were not able to have physical inspection of our products. So we started using these technologies to actually do remote inspections, and probably we were the first in India for the kind of products we were building. Not on AR/VR, for remote inspection for our kind of job. Yeah. Digital twin is a very important technology, which was a little uphill task for us to deploy and get benefits. Today we are using digital twin in plant simulation, and we can do what if analysis, the process optimization, that is on the shop floor. We can automate decision making, and also we can do a lot of scenario mapping in this. So, to summarize the type of benefits what we could get, we had increased throughput, staff hours saving, environment, paper saving, and intangible benefits. So these are the how. In the first slide, we saw that how we are transforming in the business functions. In this slide, we saw how technology is helping us reap the business benefits. Uh, the transformation is never easy. There are a lot of barriers to transformation. Uh, this is an important slide if you are actually going to lead a digital transformation journey into your organization. Availability of suitable resources is always an issue, for at least for our industry. Acceptance to change, we will always have people who have spent decades, and it is a little difficult to make people change. Infrastructure limitations, especially if you are not allowed to go on cloud, you have to do an on-prem infrastructure. It can be a barrier. Training, if your staff is not trained, if people don't know data skills, it could be a barrier. Disconnected data from various systems, you will have to deploy some kind of data lake warehouse, otherwise it can be a barrier. And waterfall mindset, you cannot start a 6-month digital project and scope it out 100% and think that it will go like that. It does not happen. In this area you have to be agile, not just follow a framework, but actually think in that direction too. So I think I have completed, I've taken 35 minutes. I was given 40 minutes. So this is what I wanted to put through. Nupur, I have saved 5 minutes. We can have a decent question answer sessions. if there are any.
First of all, thank you very much
Yeah.
for sharing your experiences around digital transformation in high-tech manufacturing. It was really insightful. And we have a couple of questions coming up. Since we have 14 minutes, you can answer elaboratively if that requires. So, first question is by Mr. Asi Goyal. He's asking for an example of primary activities and secondary activities.
Okay, so where are you looking these questions from? I'm trying to see. Okay,
Yeah,
example
so
of
there is
primary. Yeah, Rakesh is asking. I just wanted to know the name. Probably I can address him. So see, primary activities for manufacturing industry would be uh, it will start with design. When you are starting your design, then it will go to the detail engineering, then it will go to the the manufacturing shop floor when your products are coming. So you will do manufacturing, then probably it will go to the after sales services. So this is the line wherein your material is coming from one end and your product is flowing from another end. These are your primary activities. To understand the primary activities, let me give you an example of secondary activities. Say human resources, information technology, all the infrastructure related, plant engineering. Okay, these are all example of secondary activities. Some more secondary activities, if say you have a procurement department. Now, procurement department is there. Okay, you have a material flowing from left to right. So this is how we categorize it as a secondary activities. Yeah. If I am not able to clarify on my first attempt, you please say that. Okay, you please elaborate. I will be more than happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
please. We can probably add in the chat if we need more information. Um, so let's just move on to the next question, Vivek. It is by Amar Prusti. He's asking, what is your view on metaverse and how it shall help in manufacturing?
So, Amar, I have very less views on metaverse, especially in the manufacturing area. See, what is happening is that one of my roles in my organization is to dissuade my leadership from having sci-fi type of projects, right? Uh, Manufacturing probably is an area which is a little, behind when it comes to technology adoption in comparison to service industries and all. So the chart we are today actually mapping is going from descriptive diagnostic to predictive prescriptive analysis. We have very minimal deployment of even artificial intelligence and machine learning till date. So once we, it is a incremental, it is a step by process. Probably that is the point when all this concept of metaverse probably will. I mean, we will be able to adapt in that. Today, if you ask me, it's very less. Yeah. So I am just trying
Uh,
to be as honest as humanly possible. I don't want to give a right answer. I'm right. I'm just trying to be honest here. Yeah.
that's what
Uh,
we're looking for, the experiences of yours, Vivek.
So I will,
There's a question.
Nupur, I will read the question. I can read it now. So I think
Okay,
Srijit is asking that how difficult was legacy data integration for data analytics. Believe me, that challenge was there and it is still there. But the solution to that, let me just what helped. I'll tell you. First, and there are two aspects. One is that you go for digitization. Digitization, not digitalization. When you are actually taking all your activities from the offline to the online. Even if you cannot, do your past data, at least you start today. That is the first step. Second step is you get a data lake or a data warehouse concept. See, when you have an ERP and you have your data logged in their databases, many times PLM data is encrypted data. Data engineering would be such a marathon task that you will not reach to data analytics part. When I say data engineering is basically, getting this, connecting and massaging the data and all that stuff. So the solution is you have to have this data warehouse. I have seen both the sides, and this is what I have found to be useful. Srijit, I hope I was able to give you some insights on that area. I have dropped my email ID. This is my area of interest. If someone wants to, connect on that part, I'm happy to do that. The next question is, I think, coming from Rakesh. Uh, okay. Each six areas of technology benefits need much more detailed understanding and implementation. I cannot agree more with you, Rakesh. That what that one slide and that six things what you just saw. It took us around 3.5 years to build the technology stack. A lot of failures. Our success ratio in the initial couple of years for this project was less than 30%. If we went for an endeavor of say 10 projects, we succeeded in hardly three. So this is where this is the time it has taken. The intention today was not to uh, uh, preach you that how all this can be deployed, but to say that okay, this has actually, I'm giving you a case study when we have clocked the total staff hour saving through all these technologies of more than 85,000, which is substantial, and it can help you. That is a message I wanted to give. Having said that, if you have any if you want to interact on any of the particular technology like RP or something, I'm available. Probably not in the next 10 minutes. Otherwise, Nupur will have to carry me and take me out of this session. Yeah. So I think I have two more questions. Just
I have two
Priyank.
more questions.
Yeah, Priyank is. You tell me, when my time is up, Nupur, and I'll stop immediately.
Sure. So we have
Uh,
8 more minutes as of now.
Yeah, okay. So good. It is a good amount of time. How do you manage your supplier quality? I am sure I'm sure Priyank is one of my brother companies. I'm sure because this is a very relevant question. See, supplier quality is always a challenge, especially in an area where you cannot deploy cloud technologies by virtue of our business. That is defense. So today also we are following the conventional methods of physical inspection. Right? However, recently uh, we have been experimenting this what we call it as a virtual inspection, or getting some kind of data points from their machines. Like if you are doing a machining inspection, their own they already have a CNC and smart machines, so their data we are using to clear inspections and all. But for some of the other industries, if you see where they have an like automobile industry where they have a very very strong supplier quality digital systems, probably we are not there. Yeah. We are moving in that direction. So, where do you see the future of manufacturing? I see that initially we used to write manufacturing. Now we are telling it as a high-tech manufacturing. Since last 15 years, I am seeing this manufacturing industry very, very closely, Amar. See, first we started using this robotics and all, right, advanced meteorology and all these things. So it gave us a lot of data which we can use in our future interviews. Now what has happened is that we have all this data, right? Now what we are able to do is collaborate between advanced meteorology, robotics, our enterprise quality system, etc. And the insights which are getting generated through the collaboration of data is substantial, right? So the way I see the future of manufacturing is that like the automation wave we had, now we will be having a digital manufacturing era. It would be more and more driven by AI and ML concepts, and there would be a lot of automation in decision making, right? With respect to what are the welding parameters or what are the process parameters we should have if we want to do some kind of bending. Today we are deploying ML in all these areas and all. So this is how I see the future of manufacturing holding out. Yeah. Okay, considering supply issues at present ground the globe, what strategies can be deploy adopted to mitigate supplier delay? So this is a very relevant question. Some of the IT components are taking a lot of time. So the answer to this, what we are doing is that we are going to an OPEX model and we are hiring things what we cannot buy today, and that is probably working. Yeah. So this is the answer. Uh, I think I answered all the questions to the best of my capability. Yeah. So Nupur, I am done. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Vivek. Just a last call. If you have any more questions, we have 3 more minutes, or else we can conclude the session. Okay, we have got another question here. Have
Uh,
you faced the delay in R&D approval from external agencies? Any tips on that? Maybe we can take it as a last question.
okay. So see, the word delay is something which is always there, and it is industry agnostic, whether you go in manufacturing and all. And R&D is an area wherein we R&D approvals and all we will face delay. So what Priyam now I am facing, and not just telling because I am on ANI platform, is that the project management approach in industry like defense manufacturing, which was always used to be a waterfall approach and used to plan. My project duration, which I have managed, is 10 years. Okay, this is the duration of the project, which would be strange to you. But even these kind of projects, what I have found is that the project management methodology, the philosophy, the psychology, whatever you call it, mindset, you please start looking at the agile principles closely, if not the framework, at least the mindset part of it, and you will, any kind of delay, I think it would help you start accepting the change and all the aspects of that philosophy. Yeah. So this is what has helped us. Yeah.
Thank you, Rick. I think we are getting questions towards the end as well. We still have 2 minutes. Let's see we can answer that the question by Vijay Kumar. Uh,
See, this semiconductor shortage questions is something which, again, I'll say that if you are from the infra area, when you, I had IT also along with this digital part. So you cannot procure a network switch in 3 months. If you go for a Cisco router, they will say that you will take 8 9 months. So I am aware of this, but on the solution is the workaround which we probably find is that you have to go on a hiring basis. There are players in the market who actually will help you, get it. So this is how I have found to mitigate this type of challenges. Yeah. So
right, thank you. Thank you very much, Vivek. With that, we are so much on time. It was really wonderful to have you talking about your experiences in the manufacturing domain. It's great to hear some wonderful insights.